Okay, here I'm going to introduce an example of describing a problem with function analysis. Now, let me use residential building as an example of a problem. Then now, let me define the three components which is essential for determining a problem. What is system? Of course, this is a residential building. And what is positive state of residential building? So let me define it as sheltering person from wind and rain. And what is negative state? So let me define it as dangerous when earthquake hit. So this is an example of a definition of a problem, how to define a problem. So residential building, so why we live in the residential building? One of the reasons must be sheltering persons from wind and rain. So, but sometimes, especially in Japan, sometimes earthquake hits. It's really dangerous. The furniture or the residential building may fall down and furniture hit you and get injured. So let me use the template for the problem definition. If we introduce residential building, it can shelter a person from wind and rain, but it is dangerous when earthquake hits. So here I would like you to notice that a problem is clearly defined by using these three information components. Then what we should do next is performing function analysis on the problem, actually to look into what's going on with this problem. Then the function of positive state sheltering person from wind and rain, and the function of negative state dangerous when earthquake hits. So this description is kind of abstract. So we should start from rephrasing these states by using the format of functions, subject, verb, and object. Then by performing function analysis, we could think about how these functions are generated. Then what we need to do first is, so we need to try to recognize the components of the system, components of the residential building. So actually, I'm not the specialist in the field, but I think the components of the residential building could be ground, base, pole, floor, wall, roof, person, furniture, water. Actually, it's rain, and air is wind. Now, as shown in this figure. This is a model of the residential building. Then analyzing the function of positive state or sheltering person from wind and rain. If we use the description of function for this positive state, probably it could be a residential building stops wind and rain. Then this function could be broken into these functions. So ground holds base, then base holds floor, base holds pole, pole holds walls, floor holds wall, pole holds roof, wall stops air, actually it's wind, wall stops water, rain, and roof stops air, actually wind, and roof stops water, rain. So this must be what's going on with positive state. So what the components of residential building are doing to realize the function residential building stops wind and rain. Then next is performing the function analysis of about negative state, dangerous when earthquake hits. Then by using the format of function, the negative state could be described as residential building has person. Now how it happens, let's perform the function analysis. First, ground moves or jolt base, then base moves jolts or floor. Floor moves, sometimes confuses person, base moves or jolt pole, Paul moves or sometimes breaks wall, and floor moves or breaks wall, and wall has person. Paul move or break roof, then roof has person, and floor moves furniture, and furniture has person, and other mechanisms to generate this negative function. Air may have been deteriorated, or water, actually it's rain, may have deteriorated wall, air may have deteriorated roof, water may have deteriorated roof. So these things is clearly shows how we think the function of negative state or residential building has persons caused. Then now, I just want you to think. I just want you to recognize these functions related to positive state and negative state are actually together. So ground hold base, but ground hold base, the ground moves base because ground holds the base. Actually, the problem is starting from these functions. So I want you to notice by using with this example problem, actions related to positive state inevitably accompanies actions related to negative state. This must be, similar thing must be happening with your research system, with your things which you are working as your research activity. Anyway, this is all for this session. Thank you for listening.